Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, this is going to be like a half review, half story type deal. What I have is last year, how am I going to start this off? Last year I bought, at the end of the season, my older Parker walk-behind blower kind of took a shit. And I needed another one. I was finishing the last of my fall cleanups, and I was definitely due for another blower. That thing would run when it wanted to. When it did run, it would rev high, bog down, rev high, bog down. I redid the whole carb on it, and I adjusted the governor because that was messed up. I did everything. It's just old, and it was time for an upgrade. So what I did was I called my local dealer where I get all my steel equipment from, and I asked them if they had any blowers in stock, and they said they have 4 of the little wonders, but the smaller units. So I called a buddy of mine that I was borrowing his little wonder, and his was a 6 horsepower, and I was very surprised at the 6 horsepower little wonder blower. I didn't think it would move as much as it did. The amount of wet leaves and things like that. Now I know that they make monster walk-behind blowers. They make them even self-propelled now. Little Wonder makes one, Billy Goat makes one. There's a lot of people that make them, but anyway, and they're extremely high-powered, bigger engines. But I wasn't looking to spend that much money because I don't get into leaves to that degree. So cost efficient, it really wasn't beneficial for me. So what I did was I went and I looked at their little wonder blowers, the ones they had. They were all the same, and I decided, I'll show you what I decided to go with. Here is what I have. I bought this one. It's the Little Wonder C5. Okay, it's got the ring here that you adjust. You can loosen it up, and then you can adjust the chute any way you want it to go, almost all the way forward, up, down, sideways. The newer ones have these bigger tires on them, okay, and these handles, you can unscrew these, and they got little, I don't know if you can see it, but they're like teeth, and you can unscrew both sides, and you can adjust the handle up or down, depending on wherever it's the most comfortable for you. What it has for an engine, it's the SP170 6.0, so it's a 6 horsepower engine, and it's made by Subaru. Okay, the best thing about this one is it's so light, you can wing it around wherever you want. It's super light. The front of it here, this whole housing is all plastic. And I know over time some people are going to say, you know, that's going to break, bust up, this and that, but again, I don't beat the hell out of my equipment, and it'll do what I need it to do. But anyway, so this thing was, I liked it a lot better than the one my buddy had, because his is a 6 horse, but it was the older style that's all metal, regular small tires in the back, and it's a bear to move around, even for just a 6 horse. It's quite the bear, and it'll tire you out quick. This thing, when I got it, I used it all day, a bunch of times in a row, and man, it was so light and so easy. Didn't tire you out, but still had that same power as my buddies, and I had no problem moving leaves around, wet leaves, dry leaves, it didn't matter, thick leaves. I mean, it was, once the piles got too thick and I pushed them too far, all I did was tipped it up and blew the top layer off, and then dropped it back down and went back at it and blew the bottom layer again. So it's a little more work than what you do with a much bigger engine, much bigger horsepower blower, but this thing definitely did the job. The good thing about it is I paid under $400 for it. Now he paid almost $800 for his 4 or 5 years back when he bought it, the heavy metal one with the same horsepower, but his has a Briggs & Stratton engine on it. They all went to Subarus now, but he paid a lot more for his. So the price has definitely gone down on them, on these models. That's they had for my dealer anyway. So it was a good deal. The problem I had is I used it for about a month, and then it wouldn't start. And I used it all day one day, and it was great all day, worked phenomenal, ran great. I shut it off, and about an hour later on the same property I went to use it again. This was about mid-December, because as you guys know, in my area. I did my final fall cleanup the last day, or Christmas Eve day. So we had great weather, so I was still doing the cleanups. But anyway, later in that day, I went to start it up and to finish up what I was doing in that property, and it wouldn't start. And I was pissed. It was barely a month old, so I took it back to the dealer and I said, listen, there's an issue here. This thing will not start. It's only a month old. We need to do something. So he said, all right, you know, leave it in the back. We'll have our guys take a look at it and figure out what's wrong with it. And I said, all right. So I said, well, you know, I'm done now with cleanups. I don't need it till spring technically. I was like, so do what you got to do to it. It's all warranted anyway. You know, like I said, it was only a month old. Well, it is now, what is today? Today is March 29th of 2016. I dropped this thing off just before Christmas, so December 2015. And I just got this back a week and a half ago. I had forgotten about it, to be honest with you. I didn't need it. I forgot about it. I was doing a bunch of other stuff, and I had gone in there a couple times for other things, and I kept asking him, hey, what's the deal with my blower? You know, did you get it fixed? What was wrong with it? And it turned out the stator was gone, and it took a crap already that quick, which really disappointed me. But they said it was covered under warranty. They're having a hard time getting Little Wonder to honor the warranty, and they're going back and forth. And he said as soon as the warranty's done, you know, and everything goes through, then you can have it back. Which, if it had been during a time of the year where I really needed it, I'd have been really pissed off. Because in my opinion, that's not my problem. You're the dealer. That's your problem, not mine. You deal with Little Wonder. It should have nothing to do with me. So, but I let it go. I wasn't really worried about it. Like I said, I didn't need it. So what I did was I went in like a month later, and I had to go in there again for something else. And I asked them again, I'm like, hey, you know, what's the deal? Did you figure that stuff out with the warranty or whatever for my blower? And they said, we're still fighting with them. And I said, all right. Well, I went in there, you know, so the weather's been getting nice around here lately, so I went in there about a week and a half ago, like I said, and I go, hey, listen, I got a couple cleanups coming up next week, and the guy that owns the place, like, he said to the other guy, he goes, we just go in the back and get him his blower. I was like, whoa, you know, it really pissed me off. I figured it out between all the backpack blowers, the Husqvarna Zero that I had bought from them that I sold already, the handheld steel blowers. I've bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trimmers, string trimmers from them in the last 2 years. I added it all up, and then the blower. In the last 2 years, I spent over $9 grand with them. So it really pissed me off that he would take that kind of attitude with me. Now, whatever his deal was with Little Wonder, that's his own problem. And I understand it's stressful being in his business, having to deal with that. But in my opinion, you don't talk to your customers that way, and it really irked me. It kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, set me off. And the problem was, you know, back in the day, they were the only steel dealer around where I get all my stick equipment. But now everybody under the sun sells steel, and I have 100 steel dealers around here. So I think I'm going to be buying my equipment somewhere else now, and it's just because of the crappy attitude they had, and it really didn't sit well with me. I really like the guys there. I really like it's a family business, and I really like the people. They're great people. They're super nice, and they're phenomenal people. But this one incident, it just really irked me. And a buddy of mine that owns another lawn care company in my area, you've seen him in my video for the 2016 commercial turf show in Rochester. He said the same thing. He was with me when I picked it up, and he goes, I can't believe it. I can't believe they did that. And he buys a lot of stuff there too, so it really didn't sit well with him either. But anyway, so this video was kind of the story of this blower and a quick little review of it. But it's back now. I've used it a couple times in the last week, and it's running phenomenal, and that's the deal. So if you guys are looking for a walk-behind blower that's lightweight, I can pick this thing up myself and put it in the back of my truck if I need to. Lightweight with a lot of power for its size, and real easy to maneuver without burning you up or tearing you up. This may be an option for you. Like I said, it was under 400 bucks, and this just may be the way you might want to go. So again, it's the Little Wonder C5 with the Subaru engine, 6 horsepower, and if you guys are looking for one, give it a try.